So a very good morning to all of you. Thank you for coming and joining us on a Sunday. And it is very heartening to see so many of you taking time out and attending our webinar. So uh, it will be a very short webinar of presentation of 20 to 25 minutes. I'll quickly run through what we are going to discuss in the small cap space here. And then what we'll do, we'll just open it up for Q&A so that if anyone has doubts, you can ask us live here. And we'll keep the recording so that people who unfortunately cannot join us live, they can also look at the webinar and understand what we are trying to do out here, right? So I hope I am loud and clear and everybody can hear me properly. If you can just type in the chat box, I'll be happy to know. And I'm also sharing my screen. If you can just let me know, you can see the screen or not. I have just started with this. Okay. I hope you can see my screen, right? I have started the presentation mode. Yeah, thanks, Rohit. Thank you so much. So, okay. So this is something which we didn't announce anywhere on Twitter, on email or anywhere. Only for webinar attendees who have joined us today, this offer is only for them. And the offer expires just after our presentation ends. So maybe by 12 noon, this offer will cease to exist, right? So, and I've already shared the joining link on the description or on the chat box. So anyone who wants to avail this offer can do that. Okay. So what do you get in less than 5,000 rupees, right? So this is something which you can expect. We have 15 deep dive research reports. We have done 22 Mission Smile webinars in the last 22 months of our existence. We had 9 guest webinars, 8 investing Carva sessions. Don't worry if you are new and if you don't understand what it is. So first of all, if you are new, Mission Smile, you can see that it's an acronym where MNSMILE. These are all in bold. And what do we say, as in how do we call Mission Smile? It is making new stock market investors learn it through engaging research, right? So this is what we have covered till now. And if you join our membership today, apart from whatever we have done in the last 2 years, you also get access to next 1 year of our platform, right? So I see Atulji has joined. After the session, Atulji, I would request you to share a few words as well. I'll just take 20-25 minutes. So what to expect in the next 1 year as Mission Smile Access. So you can see in the middle section, you can see what we generally do, which is Mission Smile monthly webinars, monthly investing Carva sessions, and monthly guest webinar. I'll again explain all these things in detail so that you understand it much better, right? Then look at the left side and the right side. These are the new initiatives we are taking for 2023. So number 1 is a primer on 100 plus small cap companies, 100 crore to 2,500 crore market cap. I'll go deep dive into this in the subsequent slides. Don't worry about that. Second, we are launching our Android app in the first week of January and iOS app by last week of March. So why we are launching app? Because we got this feedback from many of our Mission Smile members that they were finding it difficult to watch our videos or to consume our content when they are traveling or when they don't have any computer or laptop with them. So just to make it more and more convenient and possible for our Mission Smile members to watch our content or consume our content more seamlessly, we are taking this step forward, and hopefully that will help you all in a great way to learn about stock market. And when you look at the right side now, so these two things we are starting from January. Number 1 is monthly Chintan Baitak session, a free flowing session to discuss on stocks and sectors. This will be generally all our sessions are So our monthly investing Carva session and monthly guest webinar are free for all. Even non-members can attend them. Then our monthly Mission Smile webinars are available for non-members for a small fee. But this monthly Chintan Baitak session, which is a free flow session on to discuss on stocks and sectors, this is only going to be available for members only. There will be no recording. And in most of these sessions, we will request Mr. Atul Rawal, who is an authority in small cap and micro cap space, to be the leader in the session, so that we can learn from his vast experience of 30 years of investing in micro cap space, right? And the last one is, as we have been calling guests and veterans in the industry, we will now start calling in some really great management as well. So not just in the large cap or the small or the mid cap space, we are also in touch with a few management in the micro cap space, and we'll have them also on our platform. And again, these sessions will only be available live for our Mission Smile members. However, after this session, we will put this recording on our YouTube channel so that anyone can watch, and the management gets a lot of visibility also as to what they are doing and about their journey, right? So this session will be called Leaders Ka Falsafa. Just like we are calling investing Carva for veterans, we'll call this as Leaders Ka Falsafa, right? Now let's a quick flashback as to what we have done in 2022. So we have had 12 Mission Smile webinars, 9 guest webinars, and 8 investing Carvas. So as you can see on your screen now, these were the Mission Smile webinars which we conducted. And you can see out of these 12, actually 3 of them have been conducted by one of our Mission Smile members, not me. So G Shipping was conducted by Avadut Joshi, who is a very active member. Plus, he's also a very good investor as well. And he is an analyst in a very well-known Mumbai-based family office. Similarly, you can see on the right side, Dhruv Ravani has been featured 2 times in our Mission Smile webinars. And why we encourage our Mission Smile members also to present. See, SmartSync Services has its own way of doing research. अगर मैं ही हर बार आके present करूंगा, it will become monotonous and you will find the similar kind of service companies being discussed, right? That is not the idea. And we are not trying to say that कि हम ही को सब कुछ पता है और हम ही लोग सब कुछ सही बताएंगे, right? What we are trying to do is we are trying to create a platform where we all are students. No one person is teacher. We all are students. Even I am a student and I am keen to learn from other people. And why I say so, even during my presentation, we keep a very open-ended in terms of question and answers. And sometimes I vividly remember recently when I presented on, I and Vikas jointly presented on this Awas, Home First and Apters. Dhruv made some really great counterpoints, and those discussion went on for 1 hour. And if you go and see the recording, you will see that it's not that just कि हमने आया एक मोनोलॉग किया 1.5 घंटे का 2 घंटे का और उसके बाद चले गए. It's not like that. It's an open-ended discussion so that we all can learn. So I have my own blind spots, right? When I have this kind of presentation, when I hear the counter views, I go back and check, discuss with my team, and we come out with something better, right? So that is the whole idea of these webinars. It's not that we are the authority and listen to us only, right? Now, this was about Mission Smile webinars. These are the guest webinars. So regarding guest webinars and investing Carvas, what we started with a small fee for outsiders, but then we got a lot of requests from the guests also, who said that if you keep it free for all, then more and more people can turn up and it will be better for us. Similarly, there were so many retail investors who requested us that at least these webinars can be kept free. So our objective is not to make money off you. Our objective is to make money with you. So we thought that why not make it free for all? So that is why you can see all these guest webinars. All the recordings are now available on our platform, and some of them we are now trying to put on our YouTube channel as well, right? So this has been the Investing Karwa videos sessions. So you can see Professor Bakshi, Vishal Khandelwal, Abhishek Basu Malik, Gaurav Sood, Atul sir, who is also our Mission Smile member, and I think he's still present in the meeting today, and I'll ask him to speak for some time. Then we had Jiten Pamar, Deepak Shinoy, and yesterday we had a very good session with Rohit Chauhan. The video will be put up very soon on our platform also, and also on our YouTube channel, right? So this is in nutshell what we did in 2022, right? Now comes the main part of the session, which is what is about, as in this small cap 100 watch list, right? Before we begin, I just want to repeat for people who have joined in late. We have this 50% discount only for today. Not just today, only for this session. Anyone who is not a member and wants to become a part of Mission Smile can avail that 50% discount only till 12 noon. Post the session, we'll revise the fees upwards, right? So you can, I've shared the link in the description box. You can check and take your decision, right? Disclosure, again, we Smart Sync services have always been away from the normal pump and dump scheme which you always see in social media. The 100 stocks which we are going to talk about, we are going to speak about, they are all in the 100 crore to 2,500 crore market cap. And as on date, we don't have any positions in any of them. And we never make any kind of recommendation. We are a SEBI registered investment advisory firm. So we always make sure of reading out all the disclosures so that there is no problem on your side, right? However, we find some of these stocks very, very, very attractive, and we may invest in some of them in future, right? But as on date, this is a disclosure we want to make, that we don't have any positions in any of these 100 stocks. So what did we do? We made a very simple screen, 100 to 2,500 crore market cap mein, sales growth 5 years consistently 10%. And why? So many people asked me why you took sales growth and why not earnings growth. So there is a very clear distinction between sales growth and earnings growth. It is very difficult to consistently grow your sales in a business, and that itself marks the longevity or the consistency of the organization. In case of earnings, for smaller companies, there will be time when they'll go for a big capex. They will take up some large debt, and that is why the earnings will not come in. So earnings 10% का लगा देंगे ना, तो कभी कभी हिडन जेम्स बाहर निकल जाएंगे आपके स्क्रीन से. That is why earnings नहीं रखा हमने रखा sales growth, because sales growth is a much better indicator as to if you are consistently growing at more than 10%. Very few companies manage to do that, right? So that is what we did. Debt to equity, again, let me put a disclaimer here. There in smaller companies, you will also find sometimes debt to equity of somewhere around 1 or 1.25, and you should still look at them because there will be a time when these companies are going through a capex and they have a healthy balance sheet and they have a good interest coverage ratio so that they can serve the debt well. But in our case, we had to narrow down to a 100 stock portfolio, and that is why we only focused on debt to equity less than 0.75. However, I would still encourage you, don't dismiss a small cap or a micro cap company just because its debt is more than 0.75. Try to dig in and find out what are the other reasons for debt to be high, and can they manage the debt well or not, right? So these are the other parameters. So average ROE more than 15%, and pledging is something which we as a company, Smart Sync Services, we find it very, very, very difficult. So in the past, we have in one of our portfolio stocks, we saw that the management had pledged the shares, and because of pledging, they had to face a lot of margin pressure, and then that led to a lot of share price erosion, and we don't want that to happen ever in our portfolio. So that is why this is something which we always look at very closely. So pledging is something which we, and specifically if it's a small company, we try to avoid companies where there is pledging, right? And then promoters holding more than 50% gives you some idea as to uh, whether the skin is in the game or not, right? Again, these rules are not blanket rules. For example, if a startup is getting listed on the stock exchange, invariably the promoter holding would be less than 50%. But you should not just dismiss the startup based on the promoter's holding, right? So these were the 100 small cap stocks which came to our radar, satisfying those 4 or 5 conditions of the screener, right? So that was 6 months ago when our team started presenting or started researching on this. But if you go to the screener and look for SSS small cap watch list by SmartSync Services, in today's list you will find 125 names. So don't get confused if I am talking about 100 names and today if you find 125 names, because our screen was made 6 months ago, and today what you are seeing is a lot of change, right? So the prices have moved a lot up and down. Okay. So what are the challenges we faced while uh, we started researching on small caps? So these are the major ones which we felt, because I kept talking to many of my team members. They kept on saying that even the AR doesn't help much, because you don't find too much information on the annual reports. No brokerage coverage in most of the cases. 2,500 crore market cap वाले में फिर भी brokerage notes थे, quarterly con calls थे. But I'm talking about 100 crore, 200 crore, 300 crore companies, and even 500 crore companies. There you will hardly find anything conclusive, right? So that is why it is difficult to base your investment just based on कि किसी ने बोल दिया. You have to do the hard work, and I will request or highly recommend everyone to just go to our YouTube channel or go to our Mission Smile platform and watch that video of Mr. Atul Rawal, where the video is titled "The Magic and Miseries of Microcap Space," and that is where you will understand that the rewards are also very higher, and but for that you have to do the lot of hard work. So I know Atulji very closely, the kind of meetings he has with all of these microcap space management, that is phenomenal, and you need to have that kind of passion, right? So then only you get, just because small cap का किसी ने नाम बता दिया and you think that कि चलो ये stock किसी ने बोल दिया और आज ले लेते हैं, it will become a 3-bagger or 4-bagger. It is never like that, right? So quick observation and unsolicited advice. If you buy into these businesses based on a hot tip on social media, you will end up clueless when for any reason price starts falling, because you won't get much info on them around anywhere around, right? So I'll give you 2 examples. This Sri Bajrang Alliance is a part of that 100 stock which came on our screener. You can see here, it's a 200 crore company, revenue company, 50 crore profit, and 160 crore market cap. And look at the contingent liability. That is 1,378 crore. All these are the corporate guarantees they have given to their parent company, which is into a very capex heavy, working capital stretched business. Now, don't you think that is a big risk? And they have not provided for any provision for these kind of contingent liability, right? I'm not saying avoid the stock. The stock can do well. If you understand the business, that's okay. That's your call. But I'm telling you, these are some of the things which came to our notice when we were analyzing these businesses, right? Again, this one is Ad Shop E-Retail Limited. So this is interesting in the sense that the company, if you go to screener, you'll see that the sales and profit has been increasing at a very good pace for the last 3-4 years. But you look at the problem where the management has reduced its stake at the top. So the stake was 63% when the price was 130, and it is 55 now. The price is 55 now, while the promoter stake has reduced to 36%. Right? So you need to be very careful while you look into these kind of businesses. Again, we are not making a recommendation that don't buy this or avoid this. It's your personal call. But these are some of the glaring negative sides which we come across when we dig into these businesses. Right? There are a lot of related party issues as well in the company. You can see there. Now, post that, what we did, we made a framework of top-down filters and bottom-up filters. I'll not go deep into it. We have explained it in detail on our Twitter thread, so you can go and check our tweet regarding this. So what we are doing with these 100 companies, we are ranking them based on these parameters, which we learned from Ian Castle. So what we are doing over here is just shameless cloning of his way of doing it. And why we are doing it? Because we all know that he is an authority in the microcap space, right? He has been doing that for more than 20 years now, and he has been very successful in doing that. So it is better to learn from the so as they say, you don't need to reinvent the wheel again and again, right? So you can just simply follow what the great guys are doing in that space. So this is what we did. So notes of the first 20 stocks are arranged. So out of 100, we have arranged the first 20 stocks in ascending order of their market cap. So there is no favorites or something like that. And then we have what we have done is we have given them ranking based on these factors. Now, I know this is not a perfect way of doing things, but when you put numbers like these, they help you take away a lot of bias away from you, right? कभी कभी क्या होता है कि एक नाम सुन के, जैसे फ्रंटियर स्प्रिंग्स, आई हैव बीन हियरिंग अबाउट दिस कंपनी फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम, एंड रेलवे अभी इतना अच्छा चल रहा है, सो इट इज इन द इट इज ऑलवेज ऑन द टॉप ऑफ द माइंड कि फ्रंटियर स्प्रिंग्स इज अ गुड कंपनी, राइट? बट when you break it down to all these 8 attributes and then number it based on that, तो वो क्या होता है कि आप क्रिस्टलाइज कर दे रहे हो एक चीज को, एंड यू डोंट keep a baggage ki nahi, this is a very good company or this sector is a very good. You look it into the details and merit ke hisab se aap decision le rahe ho, right? Nothing away from the company. The company is doing really good, and the sector is also in a good phase. So maybe it's a good stock to look at right now. But our way of telling you through this is you can be a much more objective investor by following these methods, right? Now, the important part, this is just a primer. We are not doing a deep dive right now, right? So I'll give you a flavor as to how these notes will be looking. So just for example, Sarthak Metals, this is how our note looks like. Okay, I'm not going to go deep into the company, but this is, I've just shared this so that you can have a feel कि हम लोग क्या करने वाले हैं, क्या क्या मिलने वाला है, ठीक है? Now, the next step would be we are not going to stop here. Based on these 100 companies, so आज हम लोग 20 companies के notes को share कर देंगे अपने Mission Smile members के साथ में, and from because sharing 100 notes at one go would not work because सबके पास इतना time नहीं है कि एक साथ में 100 notes पढ़ लेंगे. So we'll spread it out in 5 batches. 20 will be done today, and similarly next 5 maybe fortnightly or weekly we'll keep on sharing more 20 notes, and all the 100 companies will be covered. All these 100 companies are not investment worthy. We have highlighted 2 earlier where we found some glaring problems or risk or red flags. So there are others also. So we didn't want to remove any company from the screen, but we wanted to share that screening is the first step. Just because screen में आया है तो ये नहीं है कि सारी कंपनी अच्छी है. And that is where the research starts. It doesn't end there, right? So that is what we are going to do. 20 आपको आज मिल जाएंगे, but after that from next month onwards, we'll do two things. One is we'll have discussion on these companies, an open discussion only within our community. Second, we'll call management of these companies on our platform, right? So this is all about what you can expect from these small caps. Moving ahead, physical meet is starting from January in Bangalore. It is still in the process where we are talking to the companies, as in the hotels, and talking to some of the people who can help us make it a good success. So we'll start with physical meet. Again, Mission Smile members will have a very good special offer on those meets, right? Next comes, so this is, we come to the end of the presentation now. So we just want to promise you, in fact, some of our old members who have been with us since January 2021, they will agree, or maybe they will agree with what I'm going to say now, that each year we take a pledge to make Mission Smile better than before. And don't expect any less in 2023. Expect more, much more. So with this, I come to the end of the presentation. So now what I'll do, I'll request Atulji to say a few words. So Atulji, I would just request you to, I'm just unmuting you. Yeah, Atulji, please go ahead. I've unmuted you. If you can share something. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Good morning, all friends. Welcome to this session on Mission Smile webinar here. It's a pleasure to interact with so many enthusiastic people over here on this fine Sunday morning. I think this will be a very right approach to the small cap universe, where mostly the major funds or the larger investors are not looking at. And there could be some very good gems hidden in the small cap or even micro cap space. So I'm very happy with Mr. Ankit that he has already sorted out a good list wherein the basic criteria has been already selected. So we'll keep on interacting on this platform. I would request all of you to at least start reading a bit, at least looking at the balance sheet, looking at the consistent growth figures, what the management is, especially some negative factors like, do they have a similar business in private space? Do they engage into arm length transactions more and more? Is there a wide fluctuation in shareholding pattern of the promoters? Is it something that promoters are taking out the cash on negative side? Whereas there will be a lot of positive factors to look for, where we can definitely correlate it with the macro factors. So that would be nice to observe in the macro factors. Right now, in last 3 days, we have seen carnage, especially in mid and small cap space. So obviously, we'll find some value emerging if something was available at X and now it is available at 0.6x just within a week. Definitely, some value would emerge there also. So fine. As we start discussion on these individual stocks, I would request all to at least go through these 20 list of 20 stocks that Mr. Ankit has given first. As we go ahead, we'll discuss more and more on individual stocks, and we'll look into it, how we can benefit, how all of us can benefit from these sessions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Atulji. And I would again reiterate to all the people who are present here that please go and watch that 4 hour session of Atul Rawalji. He had distilled 30 years of his experience in the microcap space in that 4 hours. And that is one of the most watched video of our platform also. Not the one of the, it is actually the most watched video. So I would request all of you to just go there. You just have to go to investing Carva session, which is freely available for all, even for non-members, and go and watch that session. And if you want to, I see on the chat box someone has written I had already paid 999 for guest webinar. So Anshul, don't worry, we'll work that out. Not a problem at all. Okay. So I'll just thank you so much, Atulji. I'll just request uh, Soham, are you there? So I'll just unmute Soham. Soham, you can speak now. You wanted to say something.
Hi, Ankit,
Yeah.
and thank you for giving me the chance to speak over here.
So
So
let
yes,
me just
yep.
introduce you, Soham. So Soham has been working in the research and fund management space for last 10 years now. And I know Soham very closely for last 2 years. And in fact, every Sunday, Soham, myself, and a close group of friends of us, we discuss on stock market ideas. So I have a deep respect for Soham, and he just wanted to join this platform and wanted to share some of his views. So over to you, Soham.
Ankit, very kind of you you to introduce me like this. And trust me, I didn't really know the entire bouquet of offerings that you were kind of planning, because now I'm kind of having a serious second thought of, should I go ahead and give the membership fees and at the fantastic discount that you are offering. But that is not really what I wanted to add. I really wanted to extend a word of deep compliments, because this is brilliant stuff. Usually only institutions have this kind of research and they perform this kind of research, and the firepower to bring to their process is basically driven by the analysts in their desk. Now, the point is this thing that I have worked with hedge funds in the past and currently working for a few wealth management desks of prominent banks. And this is their trade secret. Believe me, this is their trade secret. They hire people to do to build financial models, to do stock research of unknown names, and they have a dossier of companies that they keep in their vault, and they pull out whenever they find that this is a time to deploy money. I mean, the folks in our audience, the retail folks of SmartSync, who are who are members of SmartSync thing, are getting a solid actionable intelligence to kickstart their process. So yeah, kudos to you, Ankit, and thanks for stealing our lunch. I mean, uh, I mean, it's a very huge competitive advantage that you're giving to people over here. Thank you for this.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Soham. So I'll now introduce Dhruv. Dhruv, I've unmuted you. So Dhruv has been again one of our early members. He has been with us since 2 years. And in fact, if you'll see in the last year, he has presented on two companies, which are all, both of them are cyclicals, unknown or maybe contra bets in a way. One is Wellspun Corp, and the other one is I think recently he presented on GMR Group, right? So Dhruv, over to you. If you can share your thought and your experience.
Thanks, Ankit. Hi, Soham. Didn't know you are also here. Thanks to Ankit and thanks to Atul Rawal sir that thanks for connecting us to Atul Rawal sir actually, Ankit. I mean, and sir, that that thesis and that presentation, that webinar that we had, which we had to forcefully stop, the only webinar that on smart things which we had to forcefully stop. It really gave a deep dive about how we can go about doing our investments in the small and micro cap space. And yeah, it's been a wonderful journey of sharing my knowledge, for the entire community, and then that's what we do. And really happy and looking forward to this whole new thing of monthly satsang and meeting you guys in person also very soon. Had a wonderful journey. Looking forward for another great year of learning and sharing my knowledge also with the fellow community members.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dhruv. Thank you. So one last person, Kamal, who is also our Mission Smile member. Kamal, over to you now. If you can just share, and then we'll open up for question and answers.
Sure. Thanks, Abdul. So, yeah, I remember from yesterday's session by Rohit when somebody asked him, who are your role models? And he said, I keep on learning from everyone. And when I started listening, I joined you all 2 years back. It was like, let me try this out. If it works for me, good enough. But I have been here for the last 2 years. That means that I have been learning a lot from this moment of yours. And I also remember Warren Buffett saying that you need to go, paraphrasing Warren Buffett, you need to be a little bit wiser every day by the time you go to bed. So I think I get wiser a bit every day in the morning when you send out those messages on WhatsApp. And that's a great source of knowledge and wisdom. I have bought some books based on those messages, and that's also a learning. And yeah, I enjoy almost all your offerings and look forward to the new offerings from you.
Thank you.
Great initiative. And yeah, thanks, Arthur.
Thank you so much, Kamal. And I just want to make one point. It was not by Warren Buffett, but by Charlie Munger, going to bed wiser every day.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kamal. So we are now opening up for Q&A. Anyone has any doubt, any question? We have all your time. So let me know. You can just raise your hand. I'll unmute you and you can ask your question. Just raise your hand and I'll unmute you and then you can ask your question. Okay. So I hope we managed to provide a proper understanding or brief understanding of what we are going to offer, what we have done till now, and what we are going to do in the future. But still, if you have anything in mind, do let us know. So Jitendra, I have unmuted you. You may ask your question.
Yeah, good morning. I'm sorry I joined late. So can you very briefly explain quickly what is on offer and what is it that we have to register before 12 noon? I just heard that, but I'm not very clear on what this is.
Right now, our subscription, 1 year subscription, which is generally priced at 9,999, it is available for 50% discount only till 12 noon or till the session lasts. So if you want to go ahead with that, so you can apply for that, or you can make the best use of that.
So this is the same page. It says 4,500 for all the current courses and 1 year membership. Is that the same thing that you're talking?
Yeah. 4,999, not 4,500.
Okay, 4,999. Okay, good. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Jitendra. So anyone with any other question? Okay, I don't see any hands being raised. Or let me just check the chat box. Maybe some people would have. Okay. So I see a message from PD regarding the link, webinar link. So PD, if you can just DM me later after the session, I'll share with you the link so that you can check it. Okay. Anything else? Let me just check. So I don't think there is any other question. Okay. So it's 11:41. We can wait for 5-10 minutes. I am there, or even 20 minutes if you want. Anyone has any question, you can just raise your hand or type in on the chat box. I'm ready to take that up. Okay, thank you so much. Atulji, thank you so much. Dhruv, Kamal, Soham, for sharing your journey, your way of looking at Mission Smile and our work. So I think somebody is asking for the subscription link. Okay. Yeah. So this is the link. You can go ahead. Okay. So the thing is, we are after this session today, we are going to share the 20 reports. Again, these are primers. These are not deep dives. We will do deep dives in some of them based on the interest of our Mission Smile members. Say, for example, our Mission Smile members say that this is what we want to deep dive. Then we'll try to analyze those companies in detail and then make a presentation. Yeah, Soham, oh, sorry, by mistake, I lowered your hand. So I'll just unmute you. Yeah, Soham, go ahead. I think you had a question.
Yeah, thank you, Ankit. I'll be very brief. I just had a quick question. So when we were talking about Jan Castle's framework, so there was one small pointer over there in the top-down column called story,
Yeah.
and the story being, I'm not quite sure, but I hope that it is the same thing that we are implying. But did you mean narrative in any way, or the ability to form the narrative? Perhaps because usually the small caps do not really have any narrative going for them when we are initially trying to buy them. If you can just shed some light, that'll be great.
Sure. So Soham, we have already shared that in our tweet thread. We'll share that tweet link also sometime. However, I'm explaining it in a very short way over here. Is that when you talk about story, you are partly right. As in, see, most of these small caps are hidden, unknown. People don't know much about them. And in fact, some of these micro cap or small cap companies, they don't even have the numbers to justify that uh, that they are good bets. So sometimes you need a mix of numbers and narrative. So what I'm trying to say over here is narrative. Actually, you said that it should not be a narrative, but over here, what we mean, or what we are trying to do, what Ian Castle says, right? As in, not doing exactly copying him, is just that we're trying to understand some of the small cap or micro cap stocks. They might not show great numbers immediately, but they might be having some story going on for them. So, for example, say EV is a big thing. Again, it's a debatable thing whether we should invest in EV based stocks or not. But just try to understand it with this example. If EV is a big thing, if there is a tiny micro cap space player who is into EV, who is expanding its presence, maybe distribution अच्छा हो रहा है, number of products बढ़ रहे हैं, but it is not reflecting in the final sales and profits. हो सकता है उनके डेट बहुत ज्यादा हो तो earnings अभी भी depressed है, right? So there you need these kind of stories which will help you form that कि हाँ कि of course you can't buy only based on story. That is not our objective over here. But अगर वो story है, then you should be looking at them. So how we are going is we are first making sure कि कुछ तो numbers हो, क्योंकि हम लोग तो screener से start कर रहे हैं, right? So you have seen our screening criteria. Once we screen down to that level, and then only we are trying to find stories, right? It's not that कि पहले story देखा उसके बाद number देख रहे. I hope you understood, or do you need more explanation here?
No, I got it. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, So I don't see. Acha. Jitendra has another question, I guess. So Jitendra, let me just. Yeah, go ahead, Jitendra.
Yeah, sorry, maybe it is repetitive. Ankit, this buying 1 year course is same as membership, or they are
Yeah,
different?
yeah, yeah. This is the Mission Smile membership. Yeah.
Okay, because otherwise it looks like 1 year course is different, membership is different. No.
No. Same. So it is the platform. The platform they call it course. So we are present on a platform which call these sessions as course. So that is why it is course.
Okay. And the reports you will share with us by mail, or we'll have to go to the platform and look for?
Everything will be on platform. So you don't have to. So everything will be present in one place so that it is seamless for all of you to to consume the content.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anyone else with any question? Okay. So I'll wait for 5 more minutes and then we can probably wrap it up. I'll just check the. Can the Smart Sync service be explained to get a model portfolio? So who is this? Just let me check. Apurva. So this, our advisory business and our educational business are completely different offering. So if you are a Mission Smile member, if we present on a company, we'll give a disclaimer or a disclosure that whether we are invested in that company or not. However, our advisory services are separate from this. So you don't get our model portfolio entries and exits through this. Yeah, for that, you have to separately go for our advisory services. Having said that, our advisory clients do get an advantage of Mission Smile membership. So you can look at it the other way. If you go for our advisory services, you will get a subscription of our Mission Smile membership. Okay, I hope, Purva, that answers your question. So I see a few hands being raised. I'll go with Anu Vab first. Okay, yeah, Anu Vab, please go ahead. I've unmuted you.
Hello, sir. So my question is that first you are filtering out the stocks on the basis of numbers. Then you are trying to understand the business narrative. So if we follow this process, uh, you are basically selecting the stocks driven by the numbers. So does that create some sort of biasness towards the company? Means what is your steps
Yeah,
you are following?
that's a good point, Anubhav. So see, there are always going to be bias, and this is not we are not trying to claim that this is the perfect way of doing research. See, there are thousands of companies in the small cap and the micro cap space. You can't look at all of them together, right? But you still want to look at them because you want to understand some of the fast growing sustainable businesses in the small cap or micro cap space, where chances of making returns would be higher if you get hold of the right businesses at the right time, right? So you have to form up with some sort of a filtering process, because thousands of companies go, unless you are like Soham. I know Soham personally, where he can actually go through all those companies one by one. Unless you are like that, it is impossible for you to cater to all the companies, right? So that is why we have formed this thing. And this is not a static thing. Try to understand. Will this particular screen will keep on throwing new names. So as I said during the presentation, हम लोग ने 6 महीने पहले जब किया था तो 100 names आए थे. Today, if you look at the same screen, it is throwing up 125 names. So you will always get newer companies also in this thing. And we'll keep on adding those new companies to our list, and we'll keep researching them, keep talking to the promoters, ask those promoters to come to our platform and share, and then have a discussion within our community on those companies, right? I think you muted yourself. Anubhav, if you have any point on that, you can say now.
So apart from means basically you are doing micro cap investing. So any sort of uh, in the future will you also look for some mid cap or small cap, something like that?
So mid cap, small cap, large cap, तो हम लोग already cover कर रहे हैं. So that is already being done. So if you look at our past webinars, which I mentioned during my webinars, as in during this session, you can see what kind of companies we have covered in the last 22 sessions. And we call our guests also. So peers from our industry also present on different companies, like Arvind Kothari recently presented on Borosil Limited. So these are all mid cap, small cap, and some of them are large cap companies also. So वो तो हमारा है ही, उसमें तो कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है, right? Yeah, Anubhav, you again muted yourself, so I've unmuted you.
Sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Anubhav. So I see Vijaya. So I've unmuted you, Vijaya. You can ask your question.
Hey, Ankit.
Yeah.
This is Vijay from Bangalore. I'm a recent Mission Smile member. I
Okay.
had a question, but before that, I would want to thank you on the work you guys are doing. This is really great stuff.
Thank you.
And I'm finding it useful. So thanks for that. And I had just one question. So I was recently going over your Home First Aptus video.
Sure.
Do we get access to the presentations also, or is it restricted?
So presentation we don't give. The reason being that it gets circulated outside. So that is why we have this policy right from the beginning that we don't share the presentation. However, the recording is always available. You can pause the recording and look at the presentation and make your notes whenever you want. But we don't share the presentation because we see that is not in our control, that we'll just say all of. So most of our members are genuine people. They will not share anything, but you can't escape the fact that some of them might share the presentation with, and we don't want that to happen, right? Because the major worry for us is that it gets out of context, as in मैंने 2 साल पहले कोई कंपनी के ऊपर प्रेजेंट किया होगा, उसका प्रेजेंटेशन आज कोई शेयर करेगा एंड देन उसके ऊपर में बोलेगा कि ये कंपनी ने बहुत अच्छा किया या खराब किया. We don't want those kind of things happening. So that is why we have made this policy that the webinar video is always available. The recording is there. You can go and watch it umpteen number of times. There is no problem in that. It's just that we don't make it available. The presentation, we can't make it available. I hope you understand.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, at least not with respect to the download part, or else if you can let us access it over your platform itself, if you can do next just without the video. Say if I want to review whatever I've learned from the webinar, right? Going over the video again is like a bit painful task.
That's a very good question, Vijay. So as in suggestion, so give me some time. I'll discuss with my team, and I think that can be done. I can't promise you right now, but I think that's a very good suggestion. We'll try to incorporate that. We have all the presentations, so that's not a problem for us to just keep that available in the viewing form. So let's give me a week's time. I'll discuss with my team, because it's always a democratic decision. I myself don't take any personal decision over here. So give me 1 week's time. I'll get back to you on this.
Sure.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Vijay. So,
Yeah.
okay. So I see Dr. MP Bajaj raising his hand. So yeah, I've unmuted you, Dr. Saab. You can go ahead.
Ankit, good morning. It's not a question, rather a compliment, my way of thanking you.
Thank you.
I came to know about Ankit through one of my common friend, where he resides in Gandhidham. Ankit stayed in Gandhidham. And I was that time, my 100% portfolio was in pharma. And we were very gung-ho about pharma. And he warned my friend, this is the last phase, the top of the cycle. That time I was not aware about the knowledge of Ankit, and I didn't listen to him. Again, at the height of boom of APIs in 2021 or 20, December 20, I think, he said me, please sell your pharma. Again, I didn't listen to him. And ultimately I sold them, but at sacrificing a lot of my profits. Then I joined him, and I am investing for last 30 years, and we were investing without any knowledge, without true information, anything, just hearsay. When I see him, this type of information he is giving us at a very, very social service price actually. नाम भी SSS है और इसके pricing भी social service वाला ही है. I distinctly remember in 2016, one of the other fellow who was big name in this mutual fund industries, then he came on his own. He was charging per question 1,000 rupees, and yearly charges were 30,000 rupees. Now he is selling he is undervaluing himself. 5,000 for a year with so much material and interconnecting with so many people, knowledgeable people. Just एक वीडियो किसी का सुन लीजिए ठीक से, तब भी you learn many things. So Ankit, thank you very much. Thank you enlightening me and warning me all the time, though I haven't listened to you on those advices.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saab. So I call him uncle because he's very experienced and he's been investing in market for the last 30 years. And I would not ask you to listen to my advice. I don't give any recommendation in public. And these were just maybe I was lucky there. So don't read too much on the recommendation part. But thank you so much, uncle. And the only reason we keep it at a reasonable price is that we want our community to grow, and we want it to be accessible to as many investors as possible. And there is a selfish interest. I'm not doing it. Uncle must be thinking that it is a social service. It's not that. There is a selfish interest. I think the power of a platform increases when more and more people join the platform, and that is our intent over here, right? So that is what we are trying to do under SmartSync services, and I get a lot of uh, unfair advantage by being the face of the company, but we have a very passionate and dynamic team. Uh, so I'll just take 1 minute to share. Two of my members, they are in second year of their MBA institute, doing their MBA, and they had their term exams continuing, and they still worked on those ideas which we were discussing. One of our member is 19-year-old who is preparing for his CA exam. Other person is preparing for his CFA exam, and that is how blessed I am and my team. So I'm proud to have some really hardworking, passionate people who are helping me to create this platform. And some of our Mission Smile members, as Dr. MP Bajaj and others, they have also helped us in a lot of ways. So I'll move to the next question. So Pritish, I've unmuted you. You can ask your question.
Yeah. Thank you, Ankit bhai, for this session. My question is, once I get member of this Mission Smile, apart from this 100 stock or maybe this micro cap idea, do we get any other this thing, or this membership is only for this? I mean, what we discuss for micro cap.
So Pritish ji, first understand this 100 stock is not a static number. Try
Yeah,
to understand that this screen will be the same, but number of stocks will keep on changing quarter on quarter. So we'll keep on researching those new companies also and add those to the list. So like as Warren Buffett says, don't look at it as a still photograph, but it's a rolling movie, right? So try to understand that way. So आप ऐसे समझ लो कि next 1 year में easily we'll be covering more than 50 other stocks compared to on top of these 100 stocks which we are talking right now.
Yeah. So I mean, I fully agree with you. So 100 is just a number, but apart from this 100 or maybe 125, 150, do we get any other this thing like other newsletter?
I get your point now. So 100 के अलावा भी we have monthly webinars on a particular company. Like for example, probably we'll cover one of the platform companies in January.
Okay.
So we cover these companies every month. So every month, anyways, you will have Mission Smile webinars where we deep dive on one of the companies. So that one company can be from this list or maybe out. Most of the time, it will be outside this list because these kind of companies, to deep dive on them and present on them confidently, needs some really good research and hard work, right?
Right.
आप ये समझ लो, apart from these 100 150 research notes के अलावा आपको every month you will get a deep dive webinar from us. You will also get guest webinar where a guest will be presenting on one of the ideas. Okay, and then you will also get investing Karwa session, which is also available for you. And apart from that, a monthly Chintan Baitak session, which is only for Mission Smile members, जहाँ पे we'll have a free flow discussion on stocks and sectors. And most of these sessions will be conducted with Atul Rawal ji present because he's the authority in the micro cap space, and it would be great to learn from him. So Ayan, I'm unmuting you. You may go ahead now.
Yeah, good afternoon, Ankit ji. I have connected with you over the WhatsApp group a few times, if you remember correctly. So I've already paid for this service. I look forward for joining your services. Just wanted to know whether we will have a way to connect with like a WhatsApp group or a Telegram group where even we will have our announcement kind of thing. That is one of the queries that I have.
Sure. So Ayan, thank you so much for subscribing to our services, and we do have a WhatsApp group, and I'll soon send you the link of the WhatsApp group where you can just click on the link and join the group. Okay, give me some time, but today itself only I'll send that link to you. Yeah.
Yeah, and one more thing is that I think I've got the access for the platform immediately. The app access will also be automatic.
Yeah. It will be automatic. Once it gets launched, it will be automatic for all our existing members. Don't worry about that. Okay.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. So Nimish, do you want to go ahead? Yeah, Nimish, go ahead. Okay. So Pandian, I have unmuted you. Yeah, you can ask your question. Yeah, Pandian, you can go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. This is first time I'm attending your session.
Okay.
Thank you. It was very much enlightening. I wanted to ask whether any idea is there to include SME sector also under your radar. In SME recently, one IPO has come. If I remember correct, is Bahati recycling. It is IPO price was 45 and for a quite long time it was quoting above 100 rupees. Now only it is reduced to 104.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier there was one attractive share, Elteco housing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but the problem is it is market lot is 3,000.
Okay.
We the small investors don't know whether it is worth accumulating at those prices.
Sure.
If you to throw some light on that, it will be much useful.
Sure. So, Pandianji, I have no idea about the company which you are talking about, and but we are market cap agnostic, wherein we don't have any particular frame of mind that कि सिर्फ large cap देखना है या सिर्फ small cap देखना है या सिर्फ mid cap देखना है.
Oh.
But SME is something which has not been on our radar directly. But अगर आप ऐसे देखोगे तो 100 crore to 2,500 crore के range में there are some of the SMEs also which are in the process of getting migrated to the main board. They also fall in this list sometimes. So we are not turning a blind eye to SMEs, but I can't promise anything over here that we'll definitely cover them. But that is how it is. I hope I could answer you properly, Pandinji.
In other words, that the market capitalization is the norm you are following.
I'm not following any norm. What I'm trying to say is, see, 100 to 2,500 crore is something which we discussed and we started with that kind of framework. If you ask our Mission Smile members who are there with us for last 2 years, we keep on evolving and we keep on adding new and new ways of doing our research. So it's not like ये एक बार सोच लिया, so it is casted in stone and we are not going to touch anything below 100 crore. That is not what we look at, right? Our way is always we keep on evolving. But I can't promise you or commit to you that we'll definitely cover a SME stock, is what I wanted to say.
Yes,
right?
yes, sir. Yeah, I got it, sir. I got it. You're having
Thank
open mind, provided if it is worth intrinsic value.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, yeah, Sagar, you have asked a question, do we get access to screener? So, yeah, so screener, you can just type that triple S. If you go to screener, Sagar, and just go to the screens there and just type or search for triple S small cap watch list. And you will get that link. And in that, you will see that today you will get 125 names rather than 100 names, which we have presented here. Right? Or if you have any questions, Sagar, I'll just unmute you. You can ask. Let me just unmute you. So there are two, Sagar. If you can just raise your hand, I'll unmute you. Apurva, I see your message regarding advisory services and offers. I think it would be better if you can just drop me a WhatsApp, or maybe you can just email me your name or number. I'll get back to you, or someone from my team will get back to you today itself, and we can discuss about the Christmas and New Year offers there as well. Okay. I don't see there are any more questions. So I'll just wait for one more minute. If anyone has any question, any doubt, anything you want to discuss or ask, you are free to ask even now. I am here. I don't see any question in the chat box. Sudhir, I couldn't understand your message. Please repeat. SSS means. So Apurva, my ID I've just shared on the chat just now. Okay. I didn't understand your question, Sudhir. If you can just explain. I've unmuted you, Sudhir. You can please go ahead and say what you want to say. Yeah, Sudhir, please go ahead. Okay, I think there is some problem there. Okay. So with this, we come to the end of the presentation and end of the session. So thank you so much for all of you who have joined us and stayed with us for last 1 hour. And even after the session, if anyone has any query, any doubt, you can please DM us. It's being a Sunday, we might be a little late in responding, but we'll definitely respond to all your queries. And if you found value to this session, please talk about it on social media so that more and more like-minded investors can know about this. With this, we come to the end of the session. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a good Sunday. Bye.